tier list so far for Dragonite Patch. There's so many changes that went on as well. Tier list, so yeah. Let's give my initial thoughts so far. I think there'll be a patch coming soon as well around January, mid-January. Like I think these have been pretty good, but there's some things as well that should be addressed for sure. Well, really one thing, so yeah. So start the tier list. Sadly, nothing new for our boy Gengar. I don't think Gengar got anything in this new patch to really make you want to play Gengar. This patch is just a lot more, just the same old Gengar, you know? Nothing new, another buffs that really like benefit him so much. Maybe there's something small I don't notice with Gengar, but Gengar is still Gengar. Still a sad, kind of a sad boy for him, so it's gonna be definitely tough to play Gengar given the amount of other monsters just so much better than him. So yeah, that's it for Gengar. Not much to say. For boy Crustle, not as bad as I think as Gengar because of like how much mobility he has with Shell Smash and like the stuff he does to Rat really makes him zoom around the map and actually can achieve something on the side and always like be something to bother you the whole game. One of the people who play like rat strats, will sometimes have a Crustle. Kind of has like a spot in some certain playstyles, but as a defender, definitely not in the same realm as the other defenders. Just not as good as the others, right? That's it for Crustle. Right, next in the list is Swine. So I think with the buffs, Swine, I think I put Swine before in B, and I think he's still in solid B. I think it's either put him in high C or solid B. With the buffs, I think they changed his leveling, right? So he gets access to his skills earlier, he evolves earlier. Kind of a nice thing for Swine, you know, early power spikes, just access to his ulti faster. I mean, his ulti's not strong, right? But Icicle Crash and stuff, it's pretty good for Swine. But I think sounds funny, but like I think you want to stay, you want to have tackle as long as possible, right? Because like that move is actually pretty good. It's really fast. You can close the gap. You can like instantly ISO clap. You could stay in that mode for a long time. It's actually really good. I wouldn't say it's a nerf, but like of course you get access to power spikes and stuff. But I think his place is still where it is. You know, in terms of his actual kit. I think if we take a look, oh, it was actually last patch. Sorry. The progression, but of course this covers this patch as well. It pretty much just the evolution levels went from 6 to 10, 5 to 9, and then the moves learned are from 6, 8, 10 to 14. It's 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So he might hit his early power spikes at least by 11 this time, just by whole level, which is pretty huge. And then high horsepower also activates quicker. So the high horsepower has been much better as well. I think it's still, it's still high horsepower, not exactly still the move that I feel good using still. So yeah, but at least getting access to some power spikes and a little bit of a better life for those Swine lovers out there. Yeah, I think he's still not as good as other defenders. He's still really slow. His late game ulti is still not the same. Scales doesn't scale well, but his early game is still very, very powerful. So one of the really strong early powerful laning CC chains is real, and like if you're not fully healing, you might really just not move at all. I think he's still solid, but like still gonna be pretty much the same place. Next is Machamp. Machamp is nothing happened with this guy. Got a new nice skin, but in terms of buffs and stuff, didn't really get anything, right? Like none. Like actually none. Kind of sad because like this guy, got a nice skin and all. He has a pretty nice outfit for those in the fashion who likes the fashion. It's a pretty nice outfit as well. But like nothing really. Yeah, it's just sad time for Machamp users. Like nothing. It's just the same old Machamp, you know. Like not enough buffs. We need more love for this guy. We need to make him shine more. I still think he's like a C. People might think he's like a B, but like I don't know. I'm just never afraid of like Machamp every time I see him in game. Like of course, yeah, sure, I'll get one shot. Like sometimes some angles happens, but Machamp just not very. He has to walk up to you. His gap closing's not as good as other mons. His damage can be done by other mons in much better ways than Machamp does. Yeah, next is Talonflame. I think Talonflame, I'll put him in A tier. Talonflame's still a very good jungler. Yes, Talonflame, nothing much has changed as well. Still a strong bird, as we know. All strong, mighty bird. High mobility, high burst, A lot of players pretty much go for the playstyle for Talonflame to go for those play rat, quick to score, just jam ulti every on cooldown pretty much and get that score shield scores all the time, right? Very, very good Pokemon. I think if we see Japanese meta, they will put in Talonflame in their comps because of like how mobile he is and how he can get access to his body barrier score shield combo a lot, get scores in, Brave Bird and all that stuff. Still a same strong bird, we know, high burst, all that scoring shenanigans that we see. Still very strong at it. Still very consistent at it. And yeah, Talonflame still strong. You can choose to play him Assassin. You can choose to play him kind of the store score style most people like to go. So next is Sylveon. I think Sylveon right now, I think Sylveon's still pretty good. I don't think she's getting as much love as she needs. Like, not many people like play her as much lately. I don't know, maybe because her kit's just much simpler and the other mons are just like, I don't know. I actually don't know why people don't play Sylveon as much, but like, I mean, there's like there are other, like, people like to play Pikachu, Venusaur better still, but like, Sylveon's definitely a good match. Like, Hyper Voice is still really good. Hyper Voice, Calm Mind, how safe and non-committal she is, and how much damage output she can give. So, I think it just depends on the style of the team and what they want. But I think there, as we'll see later, what mons people still refer to play. I think it's really because of the a lot of the playstyle, and like maybe they think it's stronger than Sylveon, but I think Sylveon's definitely up there. It can keep up with like the strong mage core attacker in the bot lane. Physical Fire is kind of like more for solo queue, but like for competitive. Hyper Voice, Calm Mind still very consistent, very good. Don't sleep on Sylveon, still very strong. Next is Blissey. I actually think Blissey is starting to kind of fall off. Because like, I think right now with 113 still being very strong, I think Blissey, I actually put her in like maybe in like B now. Don't get me wrong. Her ulti, her heals are helping on her value are really good. But like in competitive early laning, she's only really, if you're not gonna run like double support, either you go 2-1-2 or like double support. Like if you're running double support, you're sacrificing like CC and stuff, some frontliner like, you know, Mime, Lax, Wiggs, right? For more healing. So I don't know how to feel about that. I'm not a big fan of like having double supports. I don't think it's like the way. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's the way to go. The other defenders are definitely better at doing what she does, right? So I think her spot in the meta is just kind of like not as consistent as like Eldegoss, which we'll see later. Eldegoss is pretty much just, like you just jam her and just like always good, right? But again, her value, everything she gives you, very good, very strong. Even we play Blissey sometimes, but we've been much late. Even us, we've been playing pretty much Eldegoss lately just because how much better she is. Eldegoss is definitely way more flexible than Blissey. Also, her laning is, I think, a bit worse than Eldegoss because she's speedy. She has to walk up to you and pound, and she doesn't have access to Helping Hand early. And sometimes when you try to smite, you might just die. You're gonna be forced to flash out, and if you're stuck as Chansey for a while, yeah, you might just die. She doesn't have like the best like laning because she's speedy. Eldegoss is just superior support because when she's not doing anything, she's just auto attacking her. That's why people run muscle ban on her, because she has that gap filled with muscle ban auto attacks, and for sure, a support that you shouldn't sleep on. It's kind of because Venusaur does Sylveon's job better. I'm mildly guessing here. Yeah, well, I think people just like the Venusaur playstyle better, I think. Because of like how you just run in, right? And Giga Drain people. And it can be oppressive on certain angles, right? For Venusaur, yeah. Yeah, definitely people like to play Venusaur, preferably. Other mons. Yeah, that's my thoughts on Blissey. I think I put her in high B. I would put her in like bottom A, but like maybe. Is this ordered though? Yeah, I'd say I'll put this ordered. I think S will be the one that's not ordered. A and S are like hard to order, so. Next is Cinderace. I think Cinderace is A, high A. Cinderace is still a really good spot right now. With the Blaze Kick buffs, I think he's really strong. The scaling gets even more up the roof, has more mobility with the Blaze Kick and even Flame Charge, low cooldown, so you have like double mobility options. Well, I don't know if you count Blaze Kick as a mobility option, but you kind of have like a free reposition when you Blaze Kick. And I think that's a big deal compared to always going back in the same place, right? So it actually adds a mix-up or like adds utility to the tool, which actually makes it much better. So I think Pyrobal's still busted. Like I think honestly you could still go Pyroball. I guess it depends on the lineup. If you can't afford to give up the early burst that Pyroball gives, but like Blaze Kick, Jesus man. It's very good and actually a good option now. I mean, it still sucks. Don't get baited, guys. It's from 13 seconds to 11 seconds. That move is still garbage. Don't get that move. I think it's one of the worst, if not the worst moves in the game. Yeah, very strong Cinderace. Really strong spot right now. Got even more flexible, right? He's already really good. Now he's like Next on the list is Lucario. Surprise? Yes, he is still S tier. The nerf just popped a bit recently, but it honestly doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what you do to this guy. If you still stack attack weight and stuff, and then you pop in the right comms, it's still gonna burst you, alright? It's still gonna get like Gigachomp and stuff. It's not slowly getting less one-shotty compared to before, but like it's still very good. E-speed didn't even get touched, right? So like if you allow this guy to get E-speed because of the comp and stuff, yeah, he's just gonna E-speed, and that's still the same thing. It's still the same thing, guys. Doesn't matter if his passive got nerfed, his laning kit is still very strong. We have a new person in the house can actually fight him 1v1, which is kind of a good thing. So I still have like my thoughts of which I'll share my thoughts on later on. But yeah, Lucario is still doing his thing, guys. Don't get baited that you guys are all like not playing him. It's trolling. Like most of the time you're probably playing Lucario. Yeah, most of the time you're probably still playing Lucario. I wouldn't say like I would say their angles now could be flexible. He's definitely still S tier. Next is Snorlax. I think Snorlax right now, I think is still around B as well. I think there are better defenders, which we'll be going to later on, that's what Snorlax does better. So the thing with Snorlax is, I think what makes the Heavy Slam Block combo is super good, right? CC, protection, block can even be even more CC. His early game smite still super strong. It's just that I think compared to other defenders, his ulti is not as like useful as others. Like it's a good reset tool and everything, but like Mime and Wiggs will actually like threaten as they ulti, right? And like protect Wiggs, right? I think that's where Snorlax is starting to miss out. Sometimes when he ultis and he doesn't really do anything, and it's free body barrier, but like that's really it. It's not really disrupting or like doing massive damage to the team or protecting anyone, right? It's not providing like damage resistance near Snorlax or anything, right? So yeah, I think that's one of the parts why he's also missing out. But like his kit still is very good. Like he doesn't technically need it, but like I think that's why people will rather play like Wigglytuff or Mime. Really, because of like how they can be more useful both with their natural kits and their unites. That's just me. And like, you know, it's more telegraphed to see Snorlax. It works most of the time because Heavy Slam's range is so good and with eject. But like, yeah, I think Snorlax is still very good, don't get me wrong. But it's just like in the meta, I'd rather play like Wiggs or Mime. Another defender in the list is Greedent. The thing with Greedent is like, I have a pretty high opinion of Greedent. I'll put him in like A, bottom of A, high of B. Even with the Covet nerfs, like then the cooldown went up from 9 to 11 seconds and the buff lasts 1 second shorter. So overall, you have a 5-second gap now of when you Covet that you can actually die. It's a pretty big nerf to Greedent, but honestly, it doesn't stop him to what he really does, right? He runs around, plays disruptive, he can play the score shield game, and when he has Covet and stuff, right? Very, very disruptive still, right? Has his ultis, still gonna do damage with Belch, he's still gonna rat your way through and manage to speed away and like still manage to, you know, score so many goals on the side without, you know, you being able to do anything about it. So I think his job is still there, and I think the Japanese meta favors him a lot. You guys watch a lot of the tournaments, they really like Greedent still. And even those seeing the nerfs, people are still playing Greedent. So hard to say that he's like not good. Seeing how they play it and really achieve how they play Greedent, it's pretty good. One of the most disruptive, if not the most disruptive Pokemon. Next, Mr. Mime. I think I'll put Mr. Mime around bottom of A. Well, hard to say where Mr. Mime is. But like, let's see around here. I think Mr. Mime's still pretty good. Confusion and the usefulness of like how he is in general for the past few still very, very good. Yeah, I just don't think he's as favored as like Wigglytuff. We'll see where about Wigglytuff later, but like yeah, Wigglytuff is just like never like yeah. My opinion of Wigglytuff is just really changing as time grows. Like she's just really good, dude. It's just really her kit's just so oppressive. It's just so good offensively and defensively. Yeah, but Mr. Mime anyway still has what he offers. Like Confusion's still really insane. His ulti is really good for disruption and the damage, right? And the barrier utility for blocking certain ultis and just for blocking in general, setting up confusions and all. Still very, very good. But it's just like currently I think people are no, don't get me wrong, you could definitely still play Mime, but I think most people want to play Wigglytuff. Just to throw it out there, I think Wigglytuff is like the most preferred defender at the moment. Though of course people still opt to play Snorlax, Mime, of course, Greedent, go ahead. It depends on lang din sa style. My opinion, I think I'm still very strong. I just think that the defender role right now has a queen on its throne. Next is Blastoise. I think Blastoise is, you know what? Yeah, I don't know. No one's playing Blastoise, guys. No one's playing Blastoise anymore, guys. I said before, looking back at it, he's competitive anyway, right? His kit can't be bad and all, can't fit in the meta. Like even more so now. Like he can't fit anywhere, dude. His place in the meta is just so weird. Like where would you play him? What role? He's just very subpar to other defenders. Yeah, it's just him. He's the most out of place defender. One of the most out of place Pokemons ever to really play. Even Mama Swine can fit in defender role. He can do something with it, you know. Blastoise, man, lost. It's kind of like hard to play him in any comp really without feeling a bit bad about it. His kit got like other parts of his kit was being randomly nerfed as well. It feels even worse to play Blastoise, honestly. So yeah, I'll put him in C. No shame, dude. Sorry, Blastoise. You need some love. Actually, need some love. Next is Charizard. I don't think Charizard is that bad. I think Charizard is not so bad, but like there are just other better junglers now. But I wouldn't be here. Actually, you could just jam it as a jungler and has a place. But like just again, not same problems that I mentioned from the last stream is that the way he deals damage compared and the way he works compared to the other junglers, where it's more safe and non-committal, more rewarding, is just not the same as Charizard, right? He has to destroy the conditional, like you'll do more damage when you apply your skills, your fire breaths and all the fire skills shenanigans before you do more damage. You have to get a good angle to get an ulti. You actually need to hit someone, right? You get the ulti off, and like before you just like jam it. And I'm not sure if you could still X attack while ultiing as Charizard. I'm not sure. I think I saw somewhere you can't. If it is, that really sucks, because like I think that was really good, but just underwhelming version of like other junglers in the meta right now. So that's Charizard. Next is Greninja. I think Greninja is still very good. I think Greninja is slightly, I don't know. I am very biased to Greninja, but like I think just slightly below Cinderace. Like it's hard to say. It's really close. Like you could interchange the two, it's fine. But Greninja is still very good. I think they made Surf a lot smoother the latest patch. I think makes him function as a character even more consistently. Though I think Surf was still already very good. I think even before that. So I think Greninja is pretty good right now. Still does what he does, right? Surf, Water Shuriken. Water Shuriken got a 1 second cooldown buff. Not a big deal. Could definitely still play that style. Absolutely no problem. Greninja is still a menace when he reaches those level 7 Surf's power spikes. His ulti is still very good level 9 as well, and it still scales very well, just like Cinderace, you know. I think he's a bit more, he's safer to play compared to Cinderace. Cinderace is harder to play, but more rewarding. Just choose your poison between the two like auto attackers of the game. Next is Ninetales. I think Ninetales has a weird spot right now. I still put her here. I think she's still with even the Pikachu buffs coming in, shows even more how much like Pikachu is just a better character than her. In terms of damage output and all, still very strong. Still has like in terms of damage potential is still similar to Pikachu's, but like you know having to buff up and auto attack more times to get more value out of your passive. It's in a cone-like area, right? So you kind of have you're restricted in this area. Right to Pikachu's right target. There you go, scale shot from afar, right? To the risk. Ninetales takes way more than Pikachu, and she's I think slower. I'm not sure just as slow as Pikachu, so I think she'll definitely be dying way more than Pikachu. And again, downside with her ulti is like she stays in place, like Pikachu who can actually run away again, right? So you can just die if you're in the wrong spot and stuff, right? While you're ulting. Hindi siya matibay. So yeah, just a little bit of worse version of Pikachu, unfortunately. So yeah, that's Ninetales. Next is Wigglytuff. Yep, I did it. But Wigglytuff and S tier. Wigglytuff is just so good, guys. Like offensively and defensively, she's just so good. Especially if you combos off with Eldegoss and stuff, you could really make her work. Offensively set up these things, force ultis, because you're gonna be put to sleep for 1,000 years, right? And then like if you're ahead, especially, it's so pressing that if you need to somehow force the Wiggs ulti, but like that usually is gonna be a hard job because then they'll probably be forcing you to start ulting with their Wigglytuff, right? And setting up all the CC and everything. Pairs well with a lot of pretty much like a lot of good mons, especially with like Pikachu, Ninetales. Yeah, you could run Ninetales with her, sure, but she sets up so many people, it sets up so much damage, dude. She's just very impressive right now. Honestly, I don't know how, like the nerf to her ulti doesn't mean anything really. Like you're never breaking the shield. That's not the point of the ulti anyway. It's like no one's ever gonna want to waste their damage and units to break the shield. No one's ever gonna do that. It doesn't matter. I don't think it's the right way to approach it. I'm not sure how to approach it either to balance Wigglytuff. That's why she's kind of like been more dominant lately. So yeah, the pink machine is back in the S tier. She's very strong right now, and like I definitely prefer her to be in my team. Next is Cramorant Teru. Cramorant Teru, sad bird. So Cramorant got a skin. That's it. I think no buffs or anything to him. Pretty much one of the more nerfed characters in the game, and still where he is. Just underwhelming mage. Got even worse and never got back up despite the other mages getting some love. But why they don't want to? They're afraid to buff Cramorant. I think it'll be interesting to see if Cramorant gets some buffs and we get to see him in the mage role once again. But like unfortunately, the state of him of Cramorant is still what it is. Just not so good, right? Like just the Pikachu, Ninetales, Cramorant, the mages, right? Still beyond up there as well. Cramorant just not can't compete. He just can't. Next is Absol. I think Absol also has it hard in this meta, especially now. Like again, still, I think I mentioned it. I think Absol will be interesting if we would have like draft picks, maybe depending on like the comps and like what gets taken out and everything. I think we might see Absol because like in terms of itemization and damage output, Absol has its place. But like right now, it's not. We're not seeing that anytime soon, and I think it's just really hard to play Absol right now. I think of course like there's lots of teams here and are seeing like blue like Absol, but like my opinion is the still doesn't change. I still think very strong. Oh, of course, he's still very strong early, mid game, but like he scales up. Yeah, and if you mess up once early game, it's just like it's hard. If you mess up once early game and you don't get the bounce back at all, it's really hard. So you need to get that one spike or that one kill, that score, and like snowball off it. If you don't, it's tough. It's tough. It's a tough life for Absol. Next is Garchomp. I don't think Garchomp is that bad. All the buffs he's receiving. I put him in C, but I think I said I would put him in high B or something. I would put him in like around bottom B. I don't think it's that bad. I think you put him jungle, give him levels, and with like the changes to how he levels up now, I think it's much better. It makes more sense. If I put him in C last time, I think it makes sense at least B. Leveling is much easier. He gets his power spikes and everything. Still underwhelming. He's still not as like same as like Cinderace, like Dragonite, Greninja, right? He's melee, he has to get the power spikes, he has to walk up to you and everything. He doesn't have any. He kind of has a gap closer, but he can't stick damage, right? Really hard because you don't have like any like steroid that makes you keep sticking to someone, and you get CC'd and you're in cooldowns. You're just sad dragon. But like don't sleep on this guy. His damage output is really strong. He gets in and gets the angles. It does work. Next is Venusaur. I think Venusaur is starting to fall off a bit slowly. I think I'll put Venusaur around here, around the APAC. In terms of what he does, the whole immortality thing, still kind of there. I think the Giga Drain, the Battle Dance still does what it does, right? You're still fast, you're still gonna heal a lot. Though it did get a nerf, right? So let's just take a look at it real quick to Venusaur. The Battle Dance decays now over time. So if you guys noticed, I'm sure by now, like if you played Venusaur, if you're a Venusaur lover, you notice that he does start to slow down as you go, which is kind of a big deal because like he definitely perma sticks to targets every time. Given the cooldown of Battle Dance is also really a short gap before you can trigger it again. His sticking power is much worse, which makes the Giga Drain Battle Dance Giga Drain build much worse. They buffed Such Bomb Solar Beam again, but like I think it's just that the combo, it's a decent build, but like of course you want to run the build immortal and very impressive and just run in the backline, especially with the Wigglytuff supporting you. Eldegoss win, right? So they also did something with his Verdant Anger. I think they had better visuals for it. I don't think it really did anything. It just makes it easier to see like where the extra seeds explode. I think that was really good because like it's really annoying where it's like, I'm sure you guys experienced where it like shoots out and then like you just die, but you don't see like the seed or any hitbox. Like what killed me? But now you kind of see like the seed like kind of like explode. So yeah, I could put him in A. It's hard to not put him in A really, like when you play him well and like with the good coordination. I'm sure like the gap won't feel as bad, but like Venusaur still can be oppressive and can be played for sure. For sure. Still see many teams play Venusaur. Next is Eldegoss. I think Eldegoss is S tier. I think Eldegoss is just like the queen support. Good at queen defend, the queen support as well. That's what she does. Deep Tornado, shields, doing work. Cotton Spore got buffed? A? No, it doesn't matter. The kit that she has that people use is just way too good. They did nerf her a bit, her laning a bit, which is good. I think it's a good touch, right? Doesn't make her as oppressive in lane because like, yeah. So it just makes the Eldegoss that last hits better with the Deep Tornado. Shine more. So yeah, it's just less 200 damage I think off the Leaf Tornado. Let me check real quick. Lower base by 40 and you gain it. The ratio is much less, for sure, less damage over time. So I think it's a good nerf for her kit. Yeah, Eldegoss is still really good. Hard to put her away from her spot. I think it's why they're having a hard time putting supports. There's a problem I think with how they designed the support. I don't know. Is she does like speed heal and AoE heal and heal at the same time. So good luck with that, devs. Pokemon Unite devs. So but for the supports, hang on to those Eldegoss. Hang on to your Eldegoss for now. Slowbro. I think Slowbro's still in B. Slowbro got some buffs with like his whole passive and everything being reworked. Stat increases, I mean, and Scald being buffed. And also the Amnesia being more purely defensive, which makes him even harder to kill. I think Slowbro's still around B-ish tier. I don't know, dude. Like, I can't. Like, why am I not? I'm gonna play Wiggly. I will play Wiggly. Bro, I like the other pink ball better. There are some angles, of course, that Slowbro will be good, and like I think the Skull, the AD, still in the same spot more or less. Like the buffs didn't really like jump. Next, to the ones that are getting lots of changes in the patch. So, my girl Gardevoir. I think I put Gardevoir here. And I think I really enjoy Gardevoir with the buffs, and I think her power spikes are actually getting hit now with the buffs. I think she's still very strong. Look at her from like C to A real quick. Again, Gardevoir with the power spikes. Unfortunately, like, it's just so annoying. They made her work and then they just instantly nerf her, dude. Like, why? Like, that just pisses me off so much because I was enjoying her already so much, and then nerf. Like, god damn, dude. Like, devs, please? Hello? Like, when they were clearly trying to make her work and then they like instantly tone her down. Like, what? Her power spikes are just so much better, right? So I think I talked about this before. Like, her power spikes are so much worse because before she wouldn't hit Psyshock at first beast, right? So junglers' important timings are the first two beasts, right? The first 2v2 with beast, next 2v2 with beast on top lane. Now she actually has Psyshock, and that Psyshock is so strong, dude. I personally still like Psyshock. Even the nerfs, it's still good for sure. Like, there's no way, like, even if the nerfs, it's still very good. Maybe it was too strong, I don't know. Psyshock is super strong in dueling, super far, and super far range as well. And the whole zoom out thing was really nice for Gardevoir players, so that kind of like get a better vision of like the whole fight. So yeah, her power spikes are there for sure. She'll get ulti at 9 for first dread, get Moondust 7. Really good. Really good spot for Gardevoir right now. And I just thank you, Carl. People are picking Psyshock more often than Forza. Yeah, I think Psyshock's much better. I think people are choosing Psyshock really because of the fights you'll need to go for first beast. Since Psyshock is such a good tool for first beast. It does so much damage, and like if they try to go for beasts, especially if they're like melee characters like Talonflame, Lucario, or something, they're gonna eat damage at the same time. So sometimes you might not get all the beasts, but you might just kill them with your Lucario or something. Yeah, really good, and she's like really far range, right? And scales really well after the late game. So really good spot for Gardevoir. Next, Zeraora. Sad times to be this kitty cat. I feel sad. I feel sad playing this kitty cat. Oh my goodness. I haven't played enough Zeraora to really give him a firm spot in this tier list, but I'm gonna give him. It's just not the same, guys. I played a lot of Zeraora, guys, and it's a sad time. It's a sad cat. I've never seen a sadder cat than this guy. Zeraora got like the nerfs. Let's check out his nerfs, right? Discharge damage ratio down from 40 to 37%. You gain 1 less damage per level, and you have 20 less base. Shield decreased. Bruh. Pain. Okay. Plasma Gale lowered by 48%, and the damage per level lowered by 4. The base lowered by 140. Bruh. Yeah. That's all I can say. That's a lot of numbers, guys. Discharge and like his ability is his main thing, and they pretty much touch just that. They did Spark and Wild Charge. I think he's still kind of bugged. I think no one's still playing him because he's still bugged, I think, or just because his kit is just not as good anymore. Spark's still pretty good skill. I think Wild Charge still pretty hurts, but like if you're playing Spark, Wild Charge, Zeraora, I'll put him in bottom lane. He was like I think I put him in S tier. I put him in bottom lane. Spark the Wild Charge like does work 1v1s especially, but like it just doesn't scale well anymore, right? Like it doesn't scale well as a skill. This charge scales super well with Wall Switch. Spark Wild Charge, like realistically in fights, it's just not. It's gonna be hard to execute, and you having a hard time to one-shot the backline now makes it even harder. So yeah, really hard time to play Zeraora. Wild Charge na essential sa akin. Yeah, but like again, I personally really prefer this charge in Wild Charge. So yeah, but I understand. Well, I've seen friends of mine and other players play Wild Charge as well. It's strong, but I don't think that's what the super broken Zeraoras would play. Okay, I don't know about super broken, but like very good Zeraora state before the nerfs. Next is Pikachu. I think Pikachu is pretty much high A. I think Pikachu is really strong right now. Personally, I think he's like the strongest mage right now with the buffs to Thundershock. Thundershock got really buffed, so his early lane got even stronger. And for some freaking reason, they lowered his ulti by so many seconds. By like Let's check out the numbers. 139 seconds to 89 seconds. So that's a 50-second reduction in his cooling. That's really huge. That's like a good amount of Farfetch'd, right? Even though like still his ulti doesn't like do much. Like it does a bit of damage, makes you run away. It's not that. Like even if like the ulti is like not as good, I think it's the fact that you have access to it way more often, which makes you harder to kill and more comfortable in fight, which makes you like maybe get one more extra rotation of ultis, and you can really jam it without feeling as bad because of how short the cooldown is. So 89 seconds, right? So you can jam that around 329 before zap, and that's without farm, right? With farm, you can get that up to like maybe 215, 230, 220, right? So you can grade it. You can even jam the ultis as late as like maybe 3 minutes or 250, and you could achieve something with it, and still you get it pretty much up by the Zapdos fight. So yeah, I think that's what's really strong, right? The timings and like being able to rip it. Just rip it, go in, get the next rotation of Thunderbolt on. Really, really freaking strong. Yeah, I think Pikachu's super strong right now. And he got Volt Switch got buff, but like don't play it. Don't. It's still worse. So. If it's by ni Pika, it deals lesser damage kasi. I mean, it also never like didn't that much damage anyway. It's just really for running away and just a bit of balls and stuff, but really, really good for Pika. Next is Decidueye. Unfortunately, I think Decidueye is still around here. I think he's still better than these two junglers for sure. Yeah, Decidueye got Spirit Shackle buffs, so let's check out the Decidueye buffs from 9 seconds to 6.5 seconds. So that's like a good 2.5 seconds. Essentially, for every 4 or 5 arrows, you're getting a free arrow. Yeah. That's not enough. I don't know, dude. It's not gonna make the Decidueye Spirit Shackle build any more viable. I think they have to make the damage even higher. They increased the ratio by like 14% damage per level. No, they didn't. No. That's actually another skill. That's Leaf Storm. Leaf Storm got a bit buff, but like Leaf Storm is just a defensive tool, right? Leafage, it's not enough still. But Spirit Shackle, they just buffed the cooldown. Yeah, it's just not enough. The buffs are just not enough, guys. I think they need to up the damage of that skill. Make it like an actual poke build that they want to achieve with the character, and then we'll see it, right? And I think we'll start seeing it because like it'll actually do damage. So yeah, not enough. Still the same spot, still the same thoughts. If you play Razor Leaf build, I pretty much have to. His spikes and his duels and beast is just not as strong as the other junglers. You have to keep auto attacking and build it up, and like the others have burst, walk up to you and stuff, and have actual stuff. You need to take time and scale up with Decidueye and protect him. So, I mean, Wigglytuff Elder definitely do the job. It's just that, yeah, he just won't be as consistent as the other AS tier. Next is Sarina. I think Sarina's very good. I think I'll put her in A tier. I don't know about S tier. I think she was like S tier. Actually, I don't know. It's tough, dude. I would still put Sarina in S, I think. Maybe. Let's check out the Sarina nerfs. I think Sarina here, she got stat changes as well. Her level 4 stats are less by a bit, and then her triple axle healing was reduced by 7.5% ratio, and less damage less base heal. So I think the heal is still good. I think I've played it and I've played it against as well. It still can be tough to kill certain angles. What she does is still the same, you know, very disruptive backline, spin. Again, her ulti is still very good for finishing you off and not allowing you to get body barriered. I think that's the main thing for her ulti, getting the execute off and grass glide, you know, perma pulling you guys. I think she still does what she wants to do. Very, very strong Pokemon still. Is she S tier? I don't know. She's melee. I think that's the problem I have with her. Is like even if she's melee and like needs full heal, really need full heal. But once that's down, it's she starts to really struggle against CC once the full heal is down. And with how, you know, if I'm playing Pikachu and stuff, right, I'm playing really, really far. I mean, damage is still gonna stick, and eventually her stuff is gonna go down. Yeah, I put her in A tier for sure. I think she's still very, very good. What she does is still super heal. It's just that I don't know if I'll run her over like she can run top lane for sure as well against Lucario. The problem you have with against Lucario is the laning. If you get to 6 and you get like maybe like if you're a level or 2 behind Lucario, I think you could definitely still keep up. If I recall it correctly, I think she can one of the ones who can really manage to box with him because she has like so many shields and heals that she can't really keep up with. So yeah, very, very strong Sarina. And next, the latest addition to Pokemon Unite. Dragonite is S+. He is the king now, I think. Dragonite is super strong right now. I think you pretty much have to play him. I don't know. I prefer him jungle for sure. Some people play him lane, but I think jungle for sure to get the levels, to get the Hyper Beam. Dragon Dance, one of the strongest moves in the game, right? Dragon Dance gives you attack, movement speed, attack speed, stuff. Stack it up to 3 times. Pretty much attacking and cycling your passive, right? It's really, really strong. Makes you go to the jungle real fast. And makes your Hyper Beam go on cooldown. That's in the cooldown. I don't know. That's the auto attacks. Dragon Dance, it charges the Hyper Beam, sorry. Dragon Dance charges the Hyper Beam. Yeah, and Hyper Beam, my god, that move does too much damage, guys. That move does too much damage against objectives. Whoever's Dragonite is hitting Dragonite, who's ever hitting Dreadnought first, for first Dreadnought, and it like gets to 40%. That's it. That's it. Fully charged Hyper Beam. That's it. 40%. You just Hyper Beam that. It's dead. It's actually dead, guys. You guys think Surf, Talonflame, Brave Bird, Power Up Punch, you know, what else? Spirit Shackle. Other moves are good in smiting. Venusaur, ulti, solar. No, dude. 40%, guys. Hyper Beam. That objective is dead. Dreadnought is dead. Rotom is dead. Articuno, I think you do fully charged Hyper Beam at around 15% HP. Articuno. That is dead. That is dead. Not only that, his ulti is so busted. Like, it doesn't do like damage. It doesn't do like intense amount of damage. But like the fact that you have access to it, the cooldown's so short. If you do it melee range, you can just do it to zone people, burst, get a body barrier, and someone get the score, and just like not feel bad about it. That's messed up, dude. I think the ulti has to be the ulti. I don't know about how like it should work that way. And I think even looking at Japanese metas right now, like some people will, you know, they're running all these rat Talonflames and stuff. Imagine how they're playing Dragonite. Of course, they're putting Dragonite to smite the objective and ulting to get the body barriers. Ulting from a mile away to score. So he just fits so well into like anywhere. Hyper Beam is too oppressive. I guess I think Hyper Beam is the most broken thing about him, like how it's like controls objectives weight. It's too big a gap, though, the way he can control and secure objectives compared to most ones. Yeah, it's just so insane, and like he's hard to kill. His passive, Marvel Scale and stuff, and he's Dragon Dancing and getting cooldowns every auto attacks, and he's getting really fast. He's always gonna dash away every few seconds. It's hard to kill him. And if you're gonna have an Eldegoss and Wigglytuff to sustain you and CC from like, I don't know, like Pikachu and stuff, right? It's really hard to catch him. And he does so much damage as the time fights. As the fight goes, and like the moment, like let's say he gets an edge over the opponent Dragonite, he can also just rip the Dread, the Zap or something, and then like they're ahead enough, he can just confidently Hyper Beam and it's theirs, right? He just has so much control right now over like, you know, objectives. I think that's the thing, and like Hyper Beam is too much damage. I think that's the main two things for them right now. And you know, Pokemon Unite 10-minute game, objectives are hella freaking important. If you're not running Dragonite, you're missing out. Dragonite is like right now the king of the current competitive tier list. So I think not running Dragonite is trolling. Yeah, again guys, it's just my thoughts on the competitive tier list right now. Yeah, okay, when you say competitive, like tournaments, 5v5 stacks, you know, with friends and stuff. Again, I think S Plus is pretty much like broken. S Plus is like really freaking good Pokemons. A is like really, really good mons, but they're not like, you know, they have like weaknesses, obviously. And like, really, really good mons. B is like, B to D are pretty much like mons that are worse versions of those in A and S. And it just scales down, B, C, and D. Even worse. Yeah, but B mons for sure, like still borderline viable. I'm trolling, yeah. But if you're playing solo queue, duo queue, it doesn't matter. You can run anything you want. I can make a solo queue tier list, but maybe another time. So that's my thoughts currently for the competitive meta for the Dragonite Patch for Pokemon Unite.